Hey guys, once again, before the video starts, I want to give a quick reminder about the Manga Cage Awards. This is an award show that's going to happen in January, and voting will be taking place this week as of this being uploaded. Nominations are now closed, so I'll be working on getting the whole list compiled of voting, and I'll have the link out in a community post sometime during this week, so keep an eye out for it, and get your votes in before the award show next month. Hey. Alright everybody, it's time to talk about Weekly Shonen Jump 2026, issue number 2. And everybody rejoice. Fat Sakamoto is back. He takes the cover in all his glory. He does look a little weird. Like his head shape isn't quite right, in my opinion. Something's off. But hey, a win's a win. This is our first Fat Sakamoto appearance in a while. So I'll take what I can get. They're also advertising like a signed gun on the cover. I don't know what the hell's going on there, I'll be honest. Yeah, beyond that, not much else to talk about. You could tell they're really being light on the news lately because they're definitely saving everything big for Jump Festa in just a couple weeks, so. And by the way, if you're curious about Jump Festa coverage on this channel, I'm going to be going all out. We're going to talk about everything that comes out of that thing. So if you don't want to miss anything from Jump Festa this month, subscribe. Alright, let's go ahead and read some manga.
Get this man a gun.
Sakamoto is chapter 240, Pride. Not only is Fat Sakamoto on the cover, he's also on the color page and in the chapter itself. I was pumped. I really thought Sakamoto was just gonna stay like skinny the whole way through till the end. So getting some more Fat Sakamoto action is fantastic. Beyond that though, this was a really, really good chapter. I really like this conversation between Sakamoto and Akao, like mind palace stuff. It's a classic shonen trope, just talking to a dead person in your mind. But it really worked. I think this was needed for this point in the story, and having him come and save the day and also kick ass. The blowing into the gun and like blowing it apart is amazing stuff. We're so back. This is just exactly what I want from this series. I have nothing to complain about here. This is a pretty much perfect chapter to me. A little bit of nonsense in there, like Akao saying the whole like, don't worry about the Akao and Uzuki. That feels kind of like a lame resolution to that aspect of Uzuki. Because like, that Sakamoto's just like taking this figment of his imagination's word on it, unless they actually spoke as like some weird afterlife, like purgatory thing. I don't know. But that felt like a pretty cheap way to kind of wave that plot line away, but whatever. We're getting near the end. It's got to get there somehow. Maybe he doesn't have time to fully explore that idea the way he wanted to. I don't know. But regardless, this is my favorite chapter in a while. I'm so happy Sakamoto's back. The series is going to get a lot more interesting now that he's here, and I'm all on board. Someone Hertz chapter 13, can't delete it. So this series is doing crazy well. This is a very, very high TOC placement for a chapter 13. And that's awesome. This chapter itself, it's good. I liked it, but it just, I don't know. It left a little to be desired for me. It wasn't super impactful or anything, but it had cute moments. And again, I've said it a million times, but that's really all I can ask for with this series. As long as it's cute and fun to read, I'm fine. I don't need a whole lot of substance from it. But obviously the little moment of Kurage taking the photo of Mime is really sweet. And I like that line about, saying how the camera feels heavier now with all the memories of the day in it. That's cute. Beyond that though, I don't know, it was just a fine chapter. It was sweet and nice, just nothing too substantial or interesting to me. One Piece chapter 1168, The Snows of Elbaf. It feels really great to be back on track with this series. I really like being back in the story of Harold. I was so interested in it before, and even though it's been a long break away from it, I'm very much interested in it once again. Talked about last week how Ida was definitely getting fridged, and that did for sure happen, but the moment of her death I thought was actually really well done. Very impactful and memorable. About as good as you can ask for a fridging moment, but she still did get fridged, and that's a general Oda problem that he cannot stop doing. But whatever, it's fine. It's it is what it is, man. You gotta learn to live with it after a certain point. Stuff with Emu is incredibly fascinating. It's really interesting now that we know Emu can like brand people and give them power, share their power with others. I don't know how it works exactly. I have to imagine the elders also have this, unless they really do have devil fruits. I don't know. So many unknowns about how Emu works in general, but this is a really good look into how they might function. Also, the moment of Emu communicating like telepathically to Harold after the fact, very, very interesting, especially if we run with the theory that Shanks also got this mark and then escaped, as he does here. He's gone, he's missing. Which does lead me to wonder, like, maybe he didn't get the mark? Maybe he didn't quite get that far, because that seems impossible to escape cleanly with having this mark. Because Emu would be like, Emu might even be able to like teleport people. I don't know how the teleportation thing works. So many unknowns. I'm not gonna bother talking about Shanks right now. That's way later stuff we'll worry about. But for where we are now, the story of Harold, so interesting. I hope the end seems to signify that he's just like dead. I hope like there's a little more to it than that. I want to see like how that happened, or if maybe like faked his death. I don't know what's going on really. But I definitely need more information. It wouldn't sit well with me if that's just how he dies in the story. But I feel like it won't be the case. I think we're going to get some more context. Great chapter, though. I really like this one. Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo, Chapter 14, An Older Brother's Duty. Fantastic chapter. This series is phenomenal. I am really enjoying it, especially now that we've gotten like really into the weeds on it. It was really nice to learn more about why Yuka was the one chosen for this duel. It makes a lot more sense than it previously did. And in addition to that, this whole conflict now with Tsurugi and Maru is so well done. I was very impressed with how their whole confrontation was written. It's just so natural and seamless. Like every bit of this conflict that has brewed in the past few chapters is just perfection. It's like the best tension building stuff I've seen in a while. It's perfect. Seriously. It's so good. And it all comes to an end here with this final page, which really, really channels Gege artwork here. It looks like straight up like his artwork, aside from, shading differences and such. It's a little more detailed than his art would be, but paneling and the facial expressions especially, and the poses as well, so Gege. It's crazy. It's so well done. I loved this chapter. Great work. This series is on a roll. I'm loving it so much. And at this point, it definitely seems like we're going to be getting more than 3 volumes worth of content, considering the 3 volumes cutoff would be coming up pretty damn soon at like 4 chapters, I think. So it'll extend a little past that. I feel like this will probably get into like the 20s in terms of chapters, total chapters. And I'm all for it. Take as long as you need. I'm loving this. Akane-banashi Chapter 186, The Art of the Personal. Peak fiction. Peak fiction. So good. Oh my god, this was an amazing chapter. The fact that Isho performed the same story after Kaisen already got promoted just to flex and say like, you're not ready. You really think that was worthy of Shinichi? That's an insane move. That is insane. I cannot believe he did that. What a motherfucker. This guy is such a bastard. But it's probably all to build character, right? Like, I guess he's just a man of his art. He's very determined to get this next generation to be up to his standards. But Kaisei's not going to take it sitting down, dude. This glaring back panel or page and then into the audience just like being blown back by that glare. Holy shit. Peak. Oh my god, it's so good. I love this. This is an incredible chapter. I was not expecting to be this interested in Kaisei's performance. I was excited for it. I'm always excited for any performance in this series, but this wasn't exactly on my list of like the most exciting upcoming moments in manga and Shonen Jump. But now I'm totally locked in. I think this was incredible. Phenomenal chapter. Wow. Ichi the Witch, Chapter 62, Hearts Ripped Asunder. I love this conversation that happens between Crow and Kizashi. I love so much how it's framed like a breakup or like a rejection. It's so funny in this final panel here of, like the just pure look of, I don't even know what exactly on Crow's face, like disgust, or I guess just like a clear look of rejection, like, no bro, this ain't happening. And I like how the panel of Kizashi's all like squiggly, like he's fucked up. He cannot get over this. He'll never get over this. So cool. I thought it was hilarious and very well done. This Kizashi as a character is just so incredibly entertaining. But he's a problem and he's gotta go. I'm not saying I want to keep him around. He's definitely a threat, despite his attitude. And ending off with Goku Raku coming in, hopefully taking the spotlight here and getting a cool moment to shine. It's been a minute, and I'm excited about that. Great stuff all around. Really cool chapter. It's sort of a bridge chapter because we didn't really get anywhere with this. We just kind of moving from early stage of the fight to like, I don't know, a new stage of the fight, whatever you want to call this. But I thought for what it was a really good one. I had a lot of fun reading it. Witch Watch Chapter 228, Special Offer. Exposition out the ass. Oh my god. That was a lot. Fine chapter. I think where we end off is cool. It was nice to see all our characters kind of, pump themselves up, resound themselves to do the cause, and lay down their lives for Nico. It's nice. It's cool stuff. But yeah, this was kind of a boring read just because of how much text there was. This took me a while to get through, and honestly, a lot of the information didn't even really stick with me, even thinking back on it now, because presentation wasn't great. It was just pretty boring looking panels with a lot of text. And it wasn't super interesting. Like I've talked about before, Witch Watch, like lore and serious stuff is not my forte. I do not think it's interesting at all. Hunter x Hunter can get away with this because it's actually incredibly interesting, but Witch Watch, it cannot. This ain't it. I didn't really care for this chapter all that much. The end stuff is cool, and I'm excited for the future, but yeah, this chapter on its own, not my favorite.
Feel the power of my magic!
The Elusive Samurai, Chapter 230, Sudden Developments, 1353. It definitely does seem like we are going to go the route of Tokiyuki dying, unless the rug gets pulled underneath us and we have like an alternate history ending, but we're definitely gearing up for it. You can definitely feel the build up towards it, and just preparing the audience for that possibility. Not done in the most natural way. Sudden Developments is a very apt title because, yeah, this kind of comes out of nowhere. Yeah, I don't know. We're gearing up for the ending. I'm ready for it. I just want to see this thing end and how it pulls it off. Beyond that, I'm very much not interested in this series right now. It's really let me down a lot. I mean, really, the Fubuki stuff alone was enough to like really tap me out of this series. But even beyond that, the last few chapters just are not interesting at all and not doing anything for me. We'll see how it goes. I feel like the ending could still be kind of cool because, of course, again, it seems to be going the historical route, and I think that is an interesting avenue to take for the series and not really what I expected, to be honest. So, hey, let's see how it goes. I'll hear it out. I'm not giving up on the series. But it has been pretty damn boring to read lately. Shinobi Undercover Chapter 61, Kasasagi's Mission. Same thoughts as I've been having about this chapter lately. Nothing new to report, really. I'm still not a fan of this Kasasagi character. I think she's just kind of a nothing addition to the story, not bringing anything to the table for me. I do like the stuff like in the middle of the chapter with Aoi, like the little, sort of relationship building, just progressing, and Kasasagi realizing that, yep, these kids love each other. It's cool. It works well enough, but the bread of the sandwich housing the Aoi content in the middle isn't too appetizing. I don't know. Not a fan of the action stuff that's currently developing, and I don't really like Kasasagi, so there's not much for me right now. It is what it is. It'll win me over again, just kind of in a dull period for me right now. It happens with this series a lot in particular. So Not really worried about it. Hero Girl and Demon Lord Call It Quits, Chapter 5, The Demon Lord, Subspace, and That Girl. So I guess Subspace is here to stay. I don't find him to be a super interesting character, so I can't say I'm exactly thrilled about the possibilities, but I'll hear it out. This chapter was fine. I thought the stuff with this new girl, whose name Azuki is her name. It was funny. Funny enough, I like how she's so nonchalant about everything. It's a funny little gimmick that I can get behind. Her face is just kind of funny. She just like looks so bored and bland all the time, which I enjoy. She's very airheaded, I suppose. I like it, but beyond that, I don't know. That didn't really do a whole lot for me. It was an okay chapter. I'm not writing the series off by any means. I don't think this is anywhere near as bad as like Gonron Egg, but it's also not as interesting or entertaining as even in the same batch, something like Mage Next Door, which I think is a lot more entertaining than this so far. So this manga continues to just kind of be like the most okay manga ever. As of now. It could blow my mind later, we'll see. As of now, it's just kind of a little weird thing I read. Nothing more, nothing less. I don't know. No huge thoughts about it. Blue Box Chapter 222, I'm definitely gonna win. Amazing chapter. I didn't expect the Saki plotline to be, I don't say wrapped up per se, but it kind of is actually. I think there will be a final confrontation with Kyo, with her after this, but I did not expect it to come to a head like this with Chinatsu of all people. Talking some sense into her, making her realize what her feelings really are. I thought that was incredibly well done. That entire conversation was fantastic. Really, really hit home and really worked as a natural way to wrap up this character's whole storyline. Great stuff. But again, I do think there will be some final confrontation with the two of them. And of course, Kyo and Taiki's game begins, and it's the classic Blue Box thing where, it is a match, but it's really not about the match. It's more so about the score rather than like seeing individual plays, because while yes, this series does have sports aspects, it is a romance series at its core. It's just kind of sports are a backdrop to the series. I expected to take kind of center stage next chapter though, since we've spent this whole chapter focusing on the Saki and Chinatsu conversation. I do think the game will take the front seat next chapter. Unless we instead shift our focus to Ayame or something and see what's going on in her head, but we'll see. I thought this was a really, really good chapter, though. I love that conversation, and I do love the little bits we see of Kyo and Taiki's game. And obviously their conversation before their game starts is also really good. I like that quite a bit. They're both very determined to win, and that's good. I like that they both have high spirits about it, and they're giving it their all. I think that's really nice. And genuinely, I don't know who's going to win. It could be either of them. Seriously. Narratively, either one winning would make sense to me. So, it's all up in the air. Let's see how it plays out.
Can I offer you a nice egg in this trying time?
Gonron Egg Chapter 7, 3 Hearts. For Gonron Egg standards, this wasn't terrible, to be honest. I thought the action was like kind of engaging and interesting. Stuff going on with Oma is also not bad. It's definitely the most interested I've been in this series thus far, but I'm still not going to sit here and tell you this is good by any means. It's just slightly better than it's been. It's more entertaining than before at the very least. And even still, with that being said, this isn't terribly interesting. It's still kind of basic and bland. But hey, it's something. A win is a win. I gotta give it up. This was an okay read. Better than usual. Good job, I guess. I'll give you three claps if that was 3. I'm 4. I don't know.
Get this man a...
In Roboco Chapter 261, Roboco and Assassins. This is actually sick as hell. We basically got like another Sakamoto Days chapter in this issue. And this isn't the first time Roboco has done this. We've had a few other Sakamoto Days parody chapters in the past, but this one was on another level because... well, Takamura's in it, first of all, not actually. It's an old lady who looks like Takamura, which is very funny. But Yu Suzuki has done 3 whole pages of this chapter. What? I couldn't believe this. That's insane. How do you even have time to do this? Is this why you had to take an off week recently? It looks so good too. I loved this. So we basically get like a bonus, because I talk, well, hey, spoilers, because I guess I do segment these things. If you're not caught up to Sakamoto days, I don't know, ignore this part, but Takamura is dead, so we don't get a whole lot of Takamura action anymore. Well, none actually, unless you count the Uzuki stuff as well, but not the same. So we basically get some bonus Takamura pages within Roboco, of all things. I love this. I love his interpretation of Roboco as well. So good. Great chapter, really. I thought this was a lot of fun to read. The Mage Next Door, Chapter 6, Osoegawa versus the Sauna. Pretty good chapter. A lot of talking and stuff between these elite magic task force people again that we are seeing again for the first time in two whole chapters. Groundbreaking stuff. Yeah, nothing really changed up with the dynamics. It's still the same kind of, Osoegawa wants to view them as allies because they really do have the same goal, but the other guy, primarily Ray Sujimura, is anti-mage guy, so he doesn't really want to work with them at all, even though they have the same goal. Fun dynamic. Nothing really changed though throughout this chapter, so I mean I can't really say a whole lot in regards to that, but hey, you got some more intel moving the plot along, I suppose, or starting a new story here that we're gonna start tackling. Good stuff. Nothing to write home about, but it was a fine enough chapter. I liked it well enough. Ultimate Exorcist Kiyoshi, Chapter 72, Kiyoshi and the Yamada Household. Really good stuff. I think through and through this was a really fun chapter. I, of course, love seeing Kiyoshi talk to Yamada again. Great stuff. I love their relationship so much. It's very endearing. That's the highlight. There is some more like action stuff at the end, but I wasn't too impressed by that. It's still fun, just not like the most engaging thing in the world. I'm much more focused on this Kiyoshi stuff right now. It's just super sweet. I love their dynamic so much. It's so nice. So that was a clear highlight of the chapter for me, but the rest was good enough as well. It looked cool for sure. Kagurabachi Chapter 104, Heroes. For a second there, I genuinely thought the fight was actually over. I talked about last week how I kind of would have respected it if that was the case, just because it would have been cool to know they were just that prepared for the fight. They just got that shit done. But of course not. There's going to be a whole drawn out thing, as evident by this ending here. I don't exactly know what's going to come of this, but this looks crazy. I love this panel here at the end, and that whole be a hero moment I thought was really cool. Neat concept to explore. Yeah, all in all, just a cool chapter. Not a whole lot of action, I guess. Like the action, and the action that was involved wasn't like super innovative or anything, but a lot of it spent on like flashbacks and just being within the mind of Yura. Really neat stuff. I thought this was a great chapter. Hima-Ten, Chapter 70, New Year's Eve. I'd say I'm disappointed, but this is kind of what I expected, honestly. It's a classic post-confession chapter. It's just nothing really happens. And of course Himeno has to show up. Oh my god, bro, why? Come on. Right after a chapter where I praised it so much, of course they rebound immediately by throwing Himeno in it. Oh my god, get out of here. It drives me crazy. Whatever. It happened. It was fine. I don't know, this chapter was okay. I don't really have a lot to say about it because literally nothing happened. There were no developments on what happened last week at all. It's just that he is thinking about it and doesn't know how to feel. That's where we're at now. Okay. I can't exactly say I'm disappointed because this is what just has to happen in these things. You can't just immediately have an answer in romance series. It's always got to be a whole long drawn out thing, and now the other girls are going to make moves while he's thinking about it, yada yada, blah blah blah. You know how it goes. Well, I still wish there was a little more interesting things to happen post this, but it's the first chapter. See what happens. Maybe things will change. I'm not very hopeful though, given that we spent so much of this chapter with Himeno just doing her normal useless bullshit. I can't stand that character, man. I know that's common knowledge, but holy shit. I can't do it.
What are you doing? step bro.
Nue's Exorcist Chapter 125, Nue's Memories. Well, at least this wasn't as bad as it's been, I guess. We're beyond this, whatever this even, what was this again? Like a school sports festival or something? I don't even remember anymore what we were doing. It's over now. We're beyond that, and now getting into Nue's past, which I can't say I'm disinterested in it. I kinda am curious what this is gonna lead to, but I don't really care at the same time. We'll see though. I'm always open to things. I will hear it out. Maybe this will be peak fiction. I don't know. I'm ready for it. I'm willing to hear it out. I just can't tell you I'm like excited about hearing this. I'm not like shaking in my boots, like anticipating the next chapter with every breath. It's just, I'll read it. I'll see what it's about. Yeah, this chapter itself, I don't know, it was whatever. It was at least better than the last few, but it still wasn't very good or entertaining. Also, TOC. Listen, I know I talk a lot about how the TOC placements for Nue doesn't really matter because it's all over the place, but damn, it's been low for a while now. I don't know exactly how many weeks in a row it's been so low, but this is third to last now. I must be polling really badly lately. I'm not really sure what's going on because I still see a lot of people talk about it and it seems to be well liked in Japan. I don't know what's going on. It could just be some weird thing and it'll bounce back soon enough, but it is definitely noticeable and it's kind of making me raise an eyebrow, but I wouldn't put too much stock into it. It's probably not going to end, but tread carefully, Nue fans. It's at least interesting. Ultra of the Flame, Chapter 30, Fire and Water. Pretty good, but kind of a little lackluster, to be honest. I was expecting more from this confrontation. It's not over, obviously. There's still plenty more to go. Well, I don't know about plenty. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. There's gonna be more to this to come. But as like a debut for this fight, this final climactic battle, not too impressed. It was okay. Still the same kind of weird paneling that doesn't exactly flow very well, but at least it's better than it was in the earlier chapters. I'll give it that. Talked about it before, but it's improved. And Oter's like final form. I just did a video about final forms, by the way. Go check it out. Looks pretty cool. I like it. Continues to be just a neat looking final form that I enjoy the design of. So that's enough to carry me through at the very least, even if I'm not too impressed by what's going on in the fight itself or even the opponent. Really, I don't really feel anything particular towards. Not bad though. It was an okay chapter.
Oh, that's a baseball!
Harukaze Mound, Chapter 25, Preparation for Slaughter. So this Grim Reaper guy, he's got this whole gimmick like, I like murder, I like killing, let's kill in baseball. Classic sports stuff, like hyperbole, whatever, If you've read a sports manga, you've seen shit like this all the time. This is an okay example of it. I think it's kind of cool. I like the imagery of like his pitch being like a Grim Reaper's scythe swing. That's very unique. I actually really like that because it like angles right at the end. It's fun. But we've seen it before, and all in all, gotta say, we've been waiting so long to see what this author is capable of in the actual game, and so far, I'm not impressed. This really just, I don't feel much of anything. Okay, listen, games take time to build. Right now, we're hyping up the villains, the rival enemy team here. We gotta focus on our team though, like soon, because I'm not feeling anything from them right now. I don't feel like a hell yeah, let's go team moment, but I believe it'll happen. Let's give it a second. Yeah, as it is right now, right here, right now, I gotta admit, I'm just not very impressed. I don't really, I didn't really feel much here. But hey, again, just gotta hear it out. We're not done. We're not even close to done. At least I think. I don't know how much longer this series is gonna last. It's really funny to me how this and Oter keep like battling for the last spot on the TOC every week. They literally just keep swapping back and forth. I guarantee you next week Oter will be at the bottom. Definitely next on the chopping block, which is a shame, but it is what it is, man. I don't know. All right, that's going to do it for Weekly Shonen Jump 2026, issue number 2. This was a really good issue, once again. Starting the year off strong. I really, really enjoyed this issue. I thought it was fantastic. Pretty much everything was great. Few duds. There's always duds. What are you going to do? But the good stuff was really good. But as per usual, one thing stood out amongst them all, and that goes to, this was a toss-up. This was a really close one. But this week's chapter of the week goes to Akane-banashi Chapter 186, The Arc of the Personal. Again, it was a toss-up. JJK Modulo was really good. That was the two I was really stuck between, but this one just kind of edges it out. I thought this whole story with Kaisen was phenomenal. It's pretty self-contained too. This works as an individual chapter, which I always love. Performance itself, incredibly engaging and visually interesting. Everything about this was perfect. Phenomenal chapter. Couldn't have asked for a better Kaisen chapter. This is really bringing him back into the spotlight and making me appreciate and understand him more than I did before. So that's all we got for this week. Next week with issue number 3, JJK Modulo's taking the cover. Exciting stuff. It'll be fun to see that on the cover once again. It's been since the debut chapter, obviously, so excited to see what they cook up for the cover. And again, we're inching towards Jump Festa. Get ready for the coverage. I'm very excited. I think this is going to be a really big Jump Festa. There's a lot of exciting potential here. A lot of stuff lined up to happen. Akane-banashi anime, Bleach Core 4, Black Clover Season 2. So much cool stuff, and who knows what One Piece will drop. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment with your thoughts on this issue. Tell me your least favorite chapter, your favorite chapter, anything you want to tell me about from this issue of Shonen Jump. And remember, you can also become a channel member at 2 tiers, one being the Nice Prisoner tier, which gets you early access to new videos and your name put in the credits sequence, and the Super Nice Prisoner tier, which gets you both of those things, as well as your name read out loud right now. So thank you to DJ Tengen, Hex and Enzijiden, Milu Kitty, Braden Farrell, Halfpipe, Rafker, The Cosmere 64, Cosmic, Key to the Skies, and Iliadis. Thank you all so much for the support, and thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys whatever you decide to watch next. Take it easy, guys.